You are tuned in to Just One Hot Mom with host Nanika Ansari. Get ready, she's about to bring that fire, that flavor, that heat, all that passion, and more from around the world and in your neighborhood. Stay tuned.
Hey hotties, you are tuned into Just One Hot Mom. I am your host Nanika Ansari, and today I have with me Alicia Briggs. Hey Alicia.
Hey Boo, how
Is
are
it
you?
Alicia or Alicia?
Alicia.
Alicia. See, we get names correct around here because my name is Nanika, and I'm always having to tell people like Nanika.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. Well, I wanted you to come on today because one, I follow you slightly stalk on Instagram just to keep up with, trying to be a better planner mom. And you seem to have it all together and down pat. So can you introduce yourself to the audience for me, please?
I would love to, and I would not be me if I did not say, "Hey Boo, how are you?"
That's
It's
one of my
because
favorite
we all have
parts.
the Brown Mom experience, and I'm happy to be here.
So, you guys, I wanted us to have a conversation with Alicia today because I feel like some of us with remote learning, living in the middle of a pandemic, and life in general just happening, we are getting unorganized. And so in order for us to like have some bit of whatever normal is going to look like, we need to be organized and we need to be cute while we're doing it. So we need to have cute planners, know how to utilize those planners in the right way, and know how to pick a planner that works for you. I think all too often we see something, we buy it, and then we don't know how to use it. And so then we get discouraged about planning stuff because we didn't buy a planner that was meant for us. So I wanted to know what started you down this road of, being the planner mom.
Well, I never planned on being a planner mom. I was just a girl that really enjoyed her school planners when they were given to me and tried everything in my power to make that very ugly template look cute with some highlighters and whatever I can get my hands on with no income and no money in high school.
On a budget.
And then I used regular Walmart Target planners in college because I needed to keep up with my homework assignments, and just relying on the syllabus alone would have caused me to flunk. I used planning when I was a teacher, and it helps me stay on top of lesson plans. And I didn't really use planners. I kind of just like wrote out a large schedule on a chalkboard when I first became a mom, just kind of making a schedule and sticking to it. But I really became a planner mom, I guess, when I had my second child, Michael. He was born with a condition called right torticollis, which meant his head was stuck to the right and literally could not move. And he developed plagiocephaly, which required a helmet. And so, with an infant with such large medical difficulties, it requires a lot of doctor's appointments, a lot of going back and forth to cranial technology specialists and orthopedic specialist and specialist in John Hopkins because I live in Maryland. And so keeping up with all those things, I needed a way to write it all down. And I started my journey with a simple Target planner with just monthlies, and that was it.
And now I'm like, she got like a cut board, y'all. She know how to do the stickers. I'm like, oh, she is good. I'm like, because my little planner, I will now I'm using my phone. I just make voice notes and that's how I keep stuff.
Oh,
But I want to get better because I want to have something cute that I can whip out at a meeting like, here it is. It's a planner. And so what do you think though, like hinders moms from signing on to a planner? Because for me, like I've investigated a couple. I like the Go Crazy planner. There was one by Soul. Like I've tried a couple different planners. I was trying to get something that would match my personality, but also keep me organized. Do you think that's something that hinders moms from, getting organized and using a planner?
well, I think for a lot of moms, we don't want to feel like we're going back to school ourselves.
Mhm.
And carrying around one extra thing just kind of mentally seems a little too much. You've got the diaper bag, you've got your purse. If your child needs medication, you've got to carry that. We're carrying the diapers, the wipes, the extra set of clothes, a toy, a binky, that pouch of food, extra pads if we're breastfeeding, the extra blanket, a fan if it's too warm, or extra sweater if it's too cold. Like, we have a lot that we're thinking about for the well-being of our child if our child is small. If our child is a little bit older, like mine are, having a potty seat in the car and making sure you have an extra set of clothes with you just in case something happens, like a juice spill or an accident. Like, there's a lot that we're thinking of. So the thought of carrying around something extra physical seems taxing. But in my journey, I found that writing things down, getting things out of my head and off of my heart and putting it onto paper helps me mom better, because I don't have to carry it around in here, which then causes me anxiety in my heart. It allows me to be free. Um, I think that once we realize that it's a tool that could benefit us, more moms would get on board with it. I mean, the phone is cool, but studies have shown when you write things down, you're more likely to remember them.
You are true, because I can honestly say, like, and my phone dies often, like,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm always on it. Like, when you think about it, you use your phone for emails, text messages, calls, social media, and then it's like, boom, I'm in the middle of something. I'm like, I don't have a calendar. So I'm always like kind of stuck. So I'm like, okay, let me get my life together and get planning. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow Alicia because I need to know how, to me, it's like I like to emulate, somebody who has perfected it. And so, copying is the form of flattery. So I'm like, yeah, let me see what she does so that I can start to do that as well. But do you think, like, even in the middle of this pandemic, that there's been so much pressure on moms to be organized because we're doing remote learning, we're trying to keep kids in the house, find activities to do? How can we, one, do you think there is that added pressure? And two, how can we help moms who are feeling that anxiety?
Oh my goodness. Well,
It's loaded.
yes, this pandemic by itself has just been hashtag team too much. Like, it has been a lot that we have been asked of as women to try to do for our families, to pivot and make them feel comfortable, feel content, feel entertained, feed them, um, and keeping them safe all at the same time. And now we're educating our kids at the same time. It is a lot. I think that expecting anybody to try to do anything more than the bare necessities, which are the things that I just listed, is just way too much to ask of anybody. I don't think that planning would hurt, but I know a lot of people felt pressure because for a while we weren't going anywhere and people were used to writing where they were going in their planners or what they were doing, and they weren't physically leaving their homes, and so they felt a little stuck. I know for me, planning has kind of been an outlet as well,
Mhm.
because when we were physically in the house, not traveling, not doing anything, I journaled my experiences. I wrote how I felt and how this sucked. It was a form of pseudo therapy for me to just get it out of my chest. I'm a big advocate for journaling and just kind of getting it out of your
No.
spirit so that you feel better. I do think that it would help, but if it's just another thing that would give you anxiety on your plate, I don't think that it's necessary. But I do see it being a benefit to moms, if they did start planning, especially with the pandemic and everything. And it doesn't have to be anything extensive. It could literally just be calendars and notebook pages.
And see, I'm glad you said that it doesn't have to be something expensive or with a lot that goes into it, because I think sometimes it's overwhelming. Like, for you think about everything you have to do, you start to plan it out, and then you get anxiety from thinking like, oh my god. Like, for me, it's like when I write it down, I know I have to do it. Like, writing it down makes it real for me. So then I'm like, if it's in my phone, then if I forget it, I'm like, oh, my phone died. But if I write something down, then you're like you said, it's a known something that I have to do. I can go back, I can check that paper, I can check the planner, and I can say, I need to get this done. But I've also been involved like in some groups. So now that we're remote learning, and there are billion parent groups to join now, where people have shamed moms for not having a plan of action. Like, okay, like, how are you guys getting through this and you don't have a plan, or you don't have a calendar going? What would you say to those women who are having a difficult time? Like, they want to be organized, but they're having a difficult time because this is new for them.
Right. Well, one, mommy groups are rough, like just point blank, period. Like from the day you say, I have become a mother, the type of pregnancy test you took will get you judged by somebody. And honestly, I will say that let's stop comparing ourselves to other people because comparison is the thief of joy. I truly believe it and live by it. The things that I do with my planner, I don't try to copy anybody else. I just kind of do what I like. And I happen to like pink, which is pretty evident in the room around
It's
me.
cute. I see the Chanel on the back. I'm like, I
But
like
like
that.
literally, with those moms that want to get organized, I would just say at this point in time, doing the best that you can is all that is expected of you. While planning is helpful, it helps me. Doing something else that's going to cause you anxiety just for the sake of feeling like you're doing a better job is not going to serve you. It's going to be something else that's going to bring you anxiety and bring you down. Just do what you can and forget the rest. Forget what they have to say in the mom groups. I hate mom groups. I hate mom groups. I hate Facebook groups. I very rarely even dabble in Facebook because it is just such a place where people can attack each other for with no merit. And instead, I just say find you a group of friends. It doesn't have to be a mom group. It could just be friends, period, that are going to support and encourage you that you can talk to. And if writing things down here and there, it doesn't have to be a planner, it could just be a notebook. If that helps you, then that works. But don't try to stress it too much. Now, if this is something that you've put on your calendar, that this is something that I want to do for 2020, I would say start off with just doing to-do lists. You can do to-do lists on notepads, on sticky notes. Try to write a to-do list of things that you know you want to accomplish that day. Like if my goal for the day is to make sure my clothes don't sour in the washing machine, and I have to run them for a third day in a row, then that's what I'm going to put on my to do list. But don't make it too extensive, two, three things tops. And once you do that, you know you've done a good job for the day. It is not, you never want to try to accomplish 100% of the things on your to do list because that's overkill. You always write more than what you know you can handle because it fills up the page and it makes it look pretty to have filled in spaces. I am guilty of this.
You have crawled inside my mind. I'm like, I got a whole whiteboard. Like, this is magic that has to happen like this week. And then I tell myself, it's like, why are you setting yourself up for failure? Like, this is a lot. Like planning out content for a month. I'm going to complete that in a week. We know that things happen. We're moms, life happens. And so there may be instances where you don't complete that list. My dad always tells me, like, make a list of 10 things. If you accomplish at least 3 of those things, you did good. And even if you don't accomplish those things, as long as you attempted to do it, you'll
Right.
be just fine. But I think, like you said, mom groups are something else. And because I specialize in mommy coaching, I get in these mom groups and I'm like, whoa, like you just had a baby 10 seconds ago. uh, Pump your brakes. You
Yes.
know, it's new to you. And I think we as moms, we want to help other women. We want to be helpful. And sometimes it doesn't come across as being helpful. It comes across as like you being a know-it-all instead of giving motherly advice to each other. So I'm always like, hey, calm down. Let her experience. Like none of us knows what we're doing. There's no manual. If there was, somebody didn't give it to me when I left the hospital, and I left the hospital 3 times. So I don't necessarily know what I'm doing all the time. But I wanted to know, what advice would you give a newbie planner? Because I know there's some mom listening in, or there's some mom watching, and she is sitting there with her planner like, yes. I was like, what 3 tips would you give them as they start being the planner mom?
Okay, well, the first thing is to not get wrapped up in the brand of planners. We oftentimes get caught up in the brand of planners, and that has been a big thing in 2020. It's been, I'm just going to speak frank and from the heart because I'm just open. I'm just an open and honest person. It's been a lot of beef between people who love Happy Planner versus people that love Erin Condren. There's been controversy with Happy Planner and there's been controversy with Erin Condren. I won't get into the specifics because I'm not here to spread the drama, but you can find there's a lot of divisiveness in the planner community. So I would say not get wrapped up in the planner product or the product line. Just use what fits best for you. For me personally, I enjoy disc bound planners, and Happy Planner just happens to be a disc bound planner system because number one, binder rings or ring bound planners, I have notoriously crushed them. They get crushed in my purse. I've sat on them. The rings never, they always miss a line, and so they never quite work for me. I don't recommend that for moms. Spiral bound planners are great, but you can't shift things around. Whereas for me personally, if I need to add in a note of symptoms that my child has experienced, so I can remember to mention these things to the doctor when I get there. Because you get to the pediatrician and say, okay, what's going on? And you go, I forgot. I love to be able to pop in a sheet of notebook paper in the middle of my spread and be able to remember the things that I said I was going to say. That way they get said. And I like to be able to shift things around. That's why I enjoy disc bound planners. Now, there's several companies that you can look into, but I wouldn't get wrapped up in that. You can just simply go to a Michael's Arts and Crafts store, pick up a planner off the shelf. The layout really doesn't matter. There's horizontal, dashboard, vertical, there's hourly, there's a ton, but what you truly need are some pages with some months on it and some weeks on it, where you can write down your daily to-dos on those weekly pages, and you can write your appointments down on those monthly pages. And just start there. Focus on the to-dos, keep it small and simple, and just build from there. It's not going to be something overnight. Don't feel like you have to buy everything. The catalog of items that you can buy for the planner community are vast. And if you try to buy everything, you will waste a lot of money very quickly. So try to just keep it simple. Don't worry about what other people are doing. It's nice to admire what they're doing. But a lot of people in the planner community, including me, we waste a lot of money on fads, and then we regret those purchases later. So save your coins. Pick something that works for you. It could be a Target planner. It could be a planner from Home Depot. It could be something from Michael's or Joann's. But pick something. I know personally, classic and mini-sized happy planners from the Happy Planner brand seem to work really well for moms, especially the mini size, because you can throw it in that diaper bag or that purse and it's on the go with you. And you don't have to worry about something large and taking up too much of your space, because real estate is everything.
So I'm like, wow, it's beef in the planner community. So I use what is called the Go Crazy Planner. And okay. So I was telling someone, I was like, it got a bit overwhelming though, because it's not just a planner. It's kind of like, it's for a person who's planning like 5-year goals, 10-year goals, like not for just your everyday planner. And I was trying to use it as an everyday planner. And it was so detailed. Like there's a video that goes with it. And then it asks you a bunch of questions, and then those questions align. And so I was telling my sister, like, I can't use this. So I was trying to get advice for people who are like, you get wrapped up in trying to figure out the planner, when honestly, what I needed was some months, like you said, some weeks, some days, so that I could just write stuff down and it would flow freely. And I wasn't constantly thinking like, oh, I'm not achieving this goal, because there's a little card. Now, I love my Go Crazy Planner for long term. There's a little card that comes with it. It's like every day, did you achieve this? Did you achieve this? And so I'm constantly thinking like, I didn't get 8 ounces of water today, or I didn't do all these things. Like, does this mean I'm stuck at planning or this particular planner?
Well, yeah, that's a great thing for setting goals. I have a goal setting planner. I use the Power Sheets from Cultivate What Matters. It has video education and all of that stuff as well, but I definitely do not use it for an everyday planner. If I'm lucky, I touch it maybe once a month to make sure that I'm staying on track of my goals. But like I said, the months and the weeks are what you need. Your planner should be your best friend. It should not be trying to nail you to the cross.
Judging you.
Judge you. So, don't let your janitor judge you.
Well, now I know that. I'm like, so this is my goal planner. And it's Go Crazy Planner. Although it offers me stuff to weeks and months, and days, I was like, this is strictly for my goals, because I cannot carry this thing around, have it shaming me when I don't do something. And like, I'm looking at my purse and I'm like, oh, there's the planner. Did I mark off what I needed to do today? And I think that's why a lot of moms get uptight and anxious about it, because it's like, well, if I don't mark off that I did this, then what does that mean?
Okay, I draw a line through it and write it on the next day.
That's to the next arrow that points it to the next day, and then the arrow to the 3 or 4 arrows.
I draw a lot of arrows. I've got very good at drawing cute arrows.
I'm like, okay, it'll be more arrows going that way. So I'm really big on toolkits. So in my coaching with people, I always tell people, like, I'm going to help you build a toolkit of things that you can use when we're not together. So as a newbie mom, well, as a person who wants to plan, You said we need to make sure that we have a planner that has months, weeks, and days. But is there anything else that should go in our toolkit as we're starting out, just to be like, have this with you?
So I want to clarify because there are such thing as a daily planner. Some planners have all three. Like I think it's called Planner Essential. But there are some that only have the months and the weeks, and then some that only have the months and the days, like your Passion Planner. So you either want the months and the days if you feel like daily is something that would be necessary for you that breaks down more of your day, or the months and the weeks at a glance where you can write things down a week at a time. So you definitely want to focus on those things there. You also need a good ink pen because I'm sorry, I'm prejudiced when it comes to my pens. And if it's not gel, don't come near me. Like if it's not a good felt tip, what are you doing? And if it's thin and scratchy, just you don't come at me. Like it's something about having a good ink pen
It
that makes
is.
you continue to write. And like the ballpoint, it's an insult. Like I can't. I don't even like we don't own ballpoint pens in this house. Like we just I'm sitting here looking at all these pens. I literally have a shelf with like luxury pens that no one's allowed to write with just for pretty. But you definitely need a good ink pen that makes you want to write.
Mhm.
And then from there, you need your thoughts. You need your thoughts. Nothing else is required. You don't need washi tape. You don't need scissors. You don't need any of that extra stuff. Now, down the line, if you want to prettify your planner, go for it. Go ahead, go crazy. But for you to be an effective planner, you don't need anything except the physical planner, a good ink pen, and then your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not gonna even show her my ink pen. It's shameful. But I grab whatever works with the moment. It'll be a marker, a crayon, a pencil.
Not a, no, oh no.
see, see, y'all. That's why I had her on. I need somebody to get my life together. I need to get a good pen. She gonna make me invest in a good pen. And if I find a good pen, y'all, I'm gonna drop it in the comments so that you guys can get good pens too. Because we're not gonna be walking around here
good
shamed.
recommendations for pens right now. Papermate Ink Joy Gel Pen in 0.7 ink in black. Don't get color, get black. You also can get a Papermate, what's this called? Papermate Gel Pen in 1.0. It's a thick black ink pen. I love it. It's a nice thick grip and it writes thick and I love it. And then another one that's really popular right now is the Sharpie S Gel Pen in 0.7. These things glide and write like butter. Butter.
It'll be
like you slice butter, cold butter with a hot knife. That's this pen.
Y'all don't say nothing.
Target.
Y'all see my social media and I got a bunch of pens and we testing everything out because we're about to test these theories out because I'm going to find me a nice monthly day planner that I can use and keep my goals separate so that I can get organized because I can honestly tell you like I'm not going to show my whole entire office, but if you follow my social media journey, you know that there are like post-it notes everywhere. And I'm just like, stick it on the wall. And that's how we do it. And that's how we get stuff done. But you guys, I'm working on getting organized because I'm going to be better in the next couple of weeks. But, you know, just stick with me. Stick with me. So then you told us about planning and the toolkits, and you gave us some really good advice. Now tell us about the Brown Mom Experience. Why did you pick that name? And what is your goal with the Brown Mom Experience?
Well, yes, I love telling the origin stories of the Brown Mom Experience. So I started the Brown Mom Experience as a blog, and I still write on this blog. I haven't written lately. I'm actually in the process of revamping my website. But I started the blog in 2016, and I started it when I was at the lowest points of my postpartum depression. I had two babies that I had 10 months apart. I had a child with some serious health issues, and I was fighting health insurance. I was alone in the state of Maryland with all of my family in Virginia and further in the state of Florida. No friends, no church community, nobody, just me and these two small babies. And I was depressed. I was taking postpartum medication, and I had family that told me we don't talk about that. We only pray and we only go to Jesus, and that's it. And I just thought that just can't be the only thing for me. God wants us to have community, and I don't have it here. And I know that there's got to be women of color that also suffer from this. And so I decided to start talking about it. And that's how the Brown Mom Experience started. I started to share and just be open and transparent about my journey with postpartum depression and dealing with postpartum anxiety, and just sharing that this is something that happens. I had two other traumatic birth experiences that literally almost took me out. I shared those journeys in that blog, became very popular internationally. I don't know why people in India and in Netherlands care about what happens to Black women in America, but I had no idea that what was happening to me was a pandemic in the Black community of maternal health care being piss poor, for a lack of other words. So I shared those experiences, and then I decided to take it to Instagram because I wanted to grow my platform statewide. Had a lot of trouble doing it, got some coaching, and it kind of just grew from there. Continued working on YouTube and just sharing how motherhood and planning go hand to hand. And I just kind of share my journey, share my family. People love baby Madison. I think she's more popular than me.
She is adorable.
She's becoming a little bossy, and she knows she's the baby of the family. But I just love sharing my family and just sharing that, you know, we as Black women, we are worthy of everything that is owed to us. We are strong and we are capable, we are independent, we are smart, but we still have our own struggles. And we don't always have to be tough or strong, or that's not us all the time.
All those words that people think you want to hear, like all those popular terms for Black women, you know, like you said, strong, inspirational, and it's sometimes like, I am tired.
Tired, yeah,
that's the word.
I am tired.
You know,
I am tired.
And so I appreciate most of the women that I find that I follow on Instagram that are mommies and mommies of color started out with like a blog, and it was because we weren't having these conversations in our community. So it's like, you know, we don't talk about postpartum depression. We don't talk about maternal care. We don't talk, there are so many secrets. Like, no, we just, like you said, we just take it to the Lord in prayer and that's it. But I introduced, like, even within my own family, like, you know, God provided us with people to talk to.
Right.
You know, like he sets people in your path so that, you know, you can open up, and who knows who you're going to save or possibly turn over to God because you opened up the conversation. So I'm very appreciative that you have the Brown Mom experience, and there are moms that are able to listen to and follow and watch your journey that are getting the help that they need, that they can't find other places. Because let's face it, we're still told, even in this day and age, that, you know, going to a therapist makes you crazy.
Absolutely.
You know,
and so I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. You know, Jesus people that he's used to speak with. And when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, he had friends there to talk to. They went to sleep. They kind of failed him, but he asked for people to lean on, even when he was about to go to the cross. So for us to tell each other to not do that, I think is insane.
And I want to break that trauma of, you know, you just have to do it on your own, like the strong single Black mother or the strong Black, like, let's break that down, because we are losing us, you know, because we can't do everything. We're not going to the doctor like we're supposed to. We're not getting the mental help we need. We're not getting the physical help. We're not taking care of ourselves. And we have a long history of not knowing what real self-care looks like getting your hair done, getting your nails done, you know, shopping, when there are so many other things that are included with self-care that we're just not having discussions about. So I really appreciate you coming on and getting us set straight on the planners, because that's honestly, I'm like, you don't get us together on the planners, because you gave us some sound advice. So don't freak out, ladies. Don't be anxious about it. It's about you and what you need to accomplish, and you determine it. But I'm glad you told us about your blog and that experience, because there are a lot of women that need to hear that conversation, because like I said, we're in the middle of a pandemic and we're in our homes. And so you're not getting out to talk to your girlfriends. You're not, you know, everything is on the computer now. And you're not getting to have that information. But if I can click on Instagram and I can watch the Brown Mom experience and find some joy in the day, that's amazing.
That's so awesome. And one of the things that I think is important right now is self-care, because we are not taking care of ourselves. We're taking care of everybody else in our family, and we're getting ready to we are in the holiday season. I was going to say we're approaching it, but we're here. Like, everybody's putting their tree up, because because I can't right now.
I
But
can't. No, it won't go up.
we
It won't.
are in we're in the holiday season, and that means we're going to be doing for everybody else, bringing the holiday cheer. Like I am Mrs. Claus in my home, and we don't often take that time for ourselves. So I decided to come up with a product, and it's called the Boo Box. I actually
I
just
saw
shared it
that.
on Instagram right before this interview. I'm launching my first box ever, and it goes on sale on Black Friday. And it is just something for you to buy for you that you can use to literally share and just take care of yourself during this time of just so much going on right now. Like we need that as women, we need that as females to be able to just take care of ourselves and give ourselves a break, take a mental vacation. And I have curated a box to help us do just that.
I
And
just
I'm
watched
so
the Boo
excited.
Box on live. I'm like, oh, she is really going in. So you guys go over and watch the live. Well, will it be in your highlights?
It is saved on Instagram
Okay.
stories
Yes.
or the video. I don't know what Instagram is doing lately,
Yeah,
but it's
it's
saved
been
there.
good. So you guys go ahead and follow the Brown Mom Experience, and then shop with her, because honey, we need to stick together when it comes to us as brown, black, colorful moms, making sure that we take care of each other and to make sure that we are supporting each other. Because that for me is a whole big thing. Like I need to shop with people that look like me. So
Yes.
that's a big thing for me. Okay, so if you could give us one secret planner tip that like you hold in and you're like, I'm keeping this, but you could just let us know a little bit, what would it be?
A secret planner tip?
She let us have the pens, y'all. She done broke down the pens.
Okay, so this is what I use when I do use stickers. I don't advocate the stickers, but I am a stickerer, so I have to be honest. This is a needle nose tweezers that I use to help me with get my accuracy. This is a Singer tweezer that you use for sewing machines. I bought this for $4 from the sewing notions department at Joann's. This little sticker right here helps me lift stickers up and reposition them when I make a mistake. This helps me get things accurately because I wear nails. I can't give up my nails. I don't care. When the pandemic came, I started doing it myself. I got to have me a nail. But I gave up my hair. I can't give up the nails yet. I ain't there yet. But yes, this is my little planner secret. But it's not so secret. A lot of people use needle nose
Yeah,
tweezers.
but not a lot of us non-planners. I'm about to go get one of those. You know how many times I done ripped out a page because I'm like, this sticker that they ruined the whole page. But now I won't be wasting no more pages because I'll have little needle nose things to
Yes.
planner it. All right, so can you go ahead and drop all of your information for us, your social media, your website, so that we can go ahead and make sure that we are following and supporting you?
Yes, ma'am. So you can follow me at the Brown Mom Experience on Instagram or youtube.com/slash the Brown Mom Experience on YouTube. You can shop my shop at the Brown Mom Experience shop.com or check out my family blog website, which is called the Brown Mom Experience.com. You can follow me on Twitter. I don't really use it at the Brown Mom, and that's about it. I'm pretty easy to find.
I want to thank you for coming on this evening and really just dropping a lot of nuggets that I think, especially during this time, we need reassurance. We needed to hear again. I know for me personally, I needed to be like, okay, stop being anxious about this and just get your life together the best that you can.
Yes.
And so I'm
And
so
it's about
happy
you
that
at
you
the end of the
came
day.
on. So, hotties, you already know that me and the hottest kids, we are back in living color coming up this December. You can catch me and the hottest kids on the blog over at Nanika, that's NANEKIA.com, or follow us on all my social media at Just One Hot Mom. Guess what, hotties? You've been tuned in and you've been elevated. I will talk to you soon.